Well, the Cowboys are always a gift that keeps on giving to us Cowboy haters. Let's rock. All right, what's going on, guys? My name is Antonio, and welcome back to the All Around Sports Podcast. Today, I'm going over my top five Cowboy playoff losses since 2000. Now, the Cowboys, we all know, has not made a Super Bowl or NFC Championship appearance since the 1996 season, which they have been in contention but have not gotten all the way there. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, let's get this video underway. But coming in at number five, the fifth best Cowboy loss was this past season against the Green Bay Packers, which Jordan Love became the new owner of the Dallas Cowboys. But as we all know, the Packers were not even expected to make the playoffs this past year. The Cowboys fans at the time were very happy that they were going against the Packers to eventually regret their decision. But anyways, the Packers ended up pounding the 40 correction, pounding the Cowboys. And it was a score of 48-16 at one point, which was the largest amount of points scored in the playoffs against the Cowboys in their history. But this loss was pretty much 28-16. I know the score says otherwise, but that was during trash time. Pretty much during the when the Cowboys had no chance of coming back. But that's why I have that game at number five. Coming in at number four was Dak Prescott's biggest mistake of his career. You got the 2021-2022 wild card game against the 49ers. Now, this game was the first matchup between the two since the late 90s. Now, this matchup has been really close during its time in the history of the rivalry, which we all know they got spanked by the 49ers spanked the Cowboys last season in their regular season matchup. But the most notable play on this drive was with 14 seconds left in the game. Now, I wasn't a YouTuber at the time. I was growing my little business at the time. But anyways, Dak Prescott did a quarterback run up the middle and slid down inbounds and didn't even know the rule of giving the ball to the referee. Instead, he gave it to the center. The clock ran out, and the game was eventually over as the 49ers would survive just for the skin of their teeth. But that's why I have that game at number four. At number three, I got the bad man's return to Big D, which was the playoff game in the divisional round as the Cowboys hosted the Packers. Now, the Cowboys were the number one seed that season with rookie Dak Prescott leading the charge, which was their best season they have had since the 90s, which was when they would go and win a Super Bowl. So, of course, Cowboy fans were talking all this trash about going to the Super Bowl once again. But as we all know, that eventually failed again and again and again. As the Packers after the Cowboys made a game tying field goal, the bad man was letting out his magic, as he always does, and led the drive down the field. There was a toe tap on the left side, which would be out of bounds, but after review, it was ruled a catch, and I believe it originally was a catch and would eventually go on to make the game winning field goal, which would leave the final score of 34-31, which the Cowboys will lose once again. That's why I have this matchup coming in at number 3. At number 2 was one of the most controversial Cowboy games in their history, which was the 2014 to 2015 divisional round after they beat the Lions, which was against the Green Bay Packers. Now, this matchup to recap, the score was 26 to 21. Now, I can't show the clip because that would be considered copyright. So, I'll just explain it. The score was 26 to 21. It was fourth down, and Tony Romo had to make a play. And he eventually threw the ball down the field for Des Bryant, the 88 player at the time, which would go on to make the catch. It was ruled a catch, but the Packers would go on ahead and challenge it. And after review, it was determined that the receiver did not maintain possession of the football, and it was deemed an incomplete pass, which would be the most controversial ending to a playoff game of the Dallas Cowboys in recent years. Now, I looked at this play 1,000 times. I looked at it a billion times, and I can agree with Cowboy fans. I can totally agree that it was a catch. But nobody cares because it's the Cowboys. Because the Cowboys always eventually get what they deserve in the postseason, and the game they had before that against the Lions had a controversial call in there as well, which would eventually come back as payment, as paid, come back to as a karma. So that's why I have that game at number 2. At number 1, I put this one on here because it featured my team going against them. The 2006 wild card game when Tony Romo made the fumble that would give the Seattle Seahawks the win.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
But to recap this little section, the Cowboys were driving down the field. The score was 21 to 20 with about a minute 25 left in the game. The the Cowboys had a chance to conceal the game, and it was fourth down, just similar to the last one. But this time it wasn't a pass, it was a field goal try. Tony Romo was the holder, and it would eventually go on to cause one of the greatest collapses in the history of the Cowboys. Because Tony Romo on the snap muffled the ball and tried to run for the first down, but couldn't quite get there, which they would go on to lose in by a 1 point. The closest chance that they had of winning a wild card game at that time. But that's why I have that game at number 1. But to recap the list for every Cowboy fan viewer, the number 1 was the 2006 wild card game against the Seahawks. Number 2 was the Des Bryant Cardiff game. Number 3 was the Badman's return to Big T. Number 4 was the wild card round against the 49ers with Dak Prescott would make his biggest mistake of his career. And number 5, the past year of the new owner of the Cowboys, Jordan Love, absolutely demolishing the Dallas Cowboys. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Which Cowboy loss do you think should have been on this list that I left out? But anyways, that's my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be trolling the Cowboys a lot next season just to let y'all know in advance. But I'll catch you all in the next one. Ciao for now.